ever feel like the joke literally writes itself? And like, let's say that you generally are not the type to get involved in anything, but have you ever realized that you always do right by people? You're always the person of your word in terms of taking care of people, whether it's business, relationships. I'm not saying you're perfect just because you're like considered high vibrational, spiritual. Again, like, I'm not even making this into a spiritual, just someone with integrity, someone of solid character, right? Like I don't even want to use the word like good person because I feel like that plants the wrong idea in people's head, but you're just someone who's solid because you are who you are and you take care of people, you do right by people. Let's just be simple as that. People like yourself, especially if you are in touch with your spirituality, with your spirit, not religion, you ever realize that you can literally mind your own business and stay in your own corner, but people still like walk themselves to your presence and they fuck themselves over by doing you wrong? Like, for example, you are literally always trying to do right by people, right? Because that's part of your moral, that's your value, right? Like, you are ethical in that way, right? But somehow people still come and find you and try to scam you or just do something wrong by you, whether it's with money, taking from you intentionally or even unintentionally by their neglect or negligence or carelessness, or depreciating your value or disrespecting you, whatever. They literally know that you are someone to not mess with, right? Like, they should know this, but somehow or maybe they don't know. It doesn't matter. That's not the point. Because the point here is that you don't bother nobody, you mind your own business, you always do right by people. Like, that's what it is. But still, you still attract these low vibrational people and they fuck themselves over with your energy. And I don't know about you, but for me, and it's not even because I'm like spiritual. I mean, I don't know if it's because of that. Because for me, it's not like I'm like actively cursing people that do wrong by me, right? Or like that are like that do something fucked up to me. Like, I don't go around like intentionally curse people. It still also doesn't mean that when someone does wrong by me that I wish them happiness. Because just because you're spiritual doesn't mean that, oh, hallelujah, I'm gonna forgive every single person that does me wrong or that does something shady shit to me. Like, it's not like that, right? I mean, I don't know, maybe there are people that like that. I'm just saying I'm not like that person. But for me, in my pattern that I've noticed, that every time that someone does some weird shit in my face or behind my back, but I always find out anyway, right? Sometimes I call them out. Other times I just don't say anything, right? Either way, the result is always the same. And sometimes things take time to unfold, but it always leads to a major, major downfall. Like, major. It's not like a mini downfall, not like a little mishap. Like an absolute chaos or absolute tragedy is what always ends up happening to these people that play in my face. And for me, I'm not even like trying to get cocky about this. I'm just saying though, because I know there's other people that can relate to my position that I'm in. People like ourselves, we do right by people. We just stand by our own values. We just stay to ourselves, right? And people still come to our presence and fuck themselves over because they do wrong by us. And at that point, it's like, I guess the universe loves to use high vibrational people. Well, again, I honestly hate that shit, but it's like, we're just talking, right? So you get what I'm trying to say. Like, it's a very nuanced conversation. I'm not trying to put anybody above anybody. I'm just saying, right? Assuming that you are someone with high integrity, then you are high vibrational because you do right by people. That's what I mean ultimately, though. Anyways, like, you can literally mind your own business and not bother people, but still, like, you get caught up in these cycles where people use your energy to get their karma or something. I think it's very interesting. It is true, though, that the universe definitely does favor people that are righteous. I mean, really. And be careful. I'm not saying this to tell you to be righteous. Like, live how you live, right? The whole point of this conversation is, if you are someone who is spiritually aligned, you have integrity, you have values, and you are who you say you are, and you have a deep connection with yourself, ultimately meaning you have a deep connection with source, the higher power, right? Like, because you know everything's connected. You are protected in a way that you can't even fathom. So whether or not you, like, wish revenge on people, because, like, let's be honest, like, sometimes some of these people do some such fucked up shit, right, that it might be justified for you to be angry, like, whatever situation it is, right? And I'm gonna tell you right now, being angry does not make you a bad person. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Anyways, the point is, these low vibrational people, regardless of how they present themselves on whatever the fuck, they can never really measure up to the amount of blessings and protection that the high vibrational people truly receive. They really need to leave the real spiritual people alone, because The real spiritual people are not the ones that are like out there talking about, oh, how godly I am, how spiritual I am. It's like their actions speak for themselves. And so oftentimes these low hanging fruits, like these low vibrational people, once again, aesthetically they might look like all grandiose and all that, but I'm talking on the inside, right? You could be all that on the outside, presenting yourself to be whatever, but on the inside you're rotten as heck. I'm talking about that, right? These types of people would never understand the amount of blessing and protection that the high vibrational people are shielded by. If you play in our face, I swear to God, like, the high vibration people don't even have to do anything. I'm just speaking for myself. I've just seen some crazy shit happen to people that do wrong by me. Again, I don't even have to wish for it. I don't have to. I could, but I don't even have to. Because it's so bad. It is so bad. The consequence they receive is actually so bad that it's even better than what I would imagine as revenge or whatever. So all I'm saying here is, if you are truly who you say you are, just know that you're protected. If you're someone that knows how to spot high vibrational spiritual people, you should know better and not fuck with them, because even though they might appear to be like all good or like sweet or harmless, you don't really know what they're capable of, or you don't know who protects them in the spiritual realm. So tread carefully.